It all started in the summer of '96. My girlfriend Sarah and I had just moved into this charming old house in a quiet village in the south of England. The house was built in the early 1900s and had a lot of character: creaky wooden floors, high ceilings, and those big bay windows that let in loads of light. It was perfect for us. Or so we thought. The first few weeks were bliss. We spent our weekends exploring the local countryside and our evenings cozying up in front of the fireplace. But then, things started to change. It was small stuff at first, things going missing and then turning up in weird places. I remember one morning, I couldn't find my keys. I always left them on the kitchen counter, but that day they were gone. I searched the entire house and finally found them on top of the wardrobe in our bedroom. I laughed it off, thinking maybe I'd been forgetful. But then more stuff started happening. Our cat, Whiskers, became really skittish. He'd hiss at empty corners and refuse to go into certain rooms. Sarah joked that the house was haunted, but I could tell she was starting to get freaked out. One night we were woken up by a loud crash. It sounded like something heavy had fallen in the kitchen. We rushed downstairs, and there on the floor was our entire set of dinner plates shattered. They had been in the cupboard when we went to bed. We checked all the windows and doors, but everything was locked. There was no sign of a break-in. Things escalated from there. I'd hear whispers when I was alone in the house, and sometimes I'd see shadows moving out of the corner of my eye. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was just my imagination or stress from work. But Sarah was experiencing the same things. She swore she felt someone touching her shoulder when she was home alone. It was starting to wear on us. The final straw came one night in November. We were both asleep when I woke up to the feeling of being watched. I opened my eyes and saw a dark figure standing at the foot of the bed. I couldn't make out any features, just a black silhouette. I tried to move, but I was paralyzed with fear. The figure slowly leaned over Sarah, who was still asleep. And then it vanished. I shook Sarah awake, and we both agreed we couldn't stay in the house any longer. We packed a bag and drove to her parents' place that night. The next day we went back to the house to pack up our things. As we were loading the car, Sarah suddenly screamed. I ran inside and found her in the living room, staring at the wall. Written in what looked like charcoal were the words, "Get out." We didn't need any more convincing. We left that day and never went back. We later found out from a neighbor that the house had a dark history. A family who lived there in the 1950s had reported similar experiences and left suddenly. No one stayed in the house for long after that. I still don't know what was in that house, if it was a poltergeist or something else. All I know is that we made the right decision to leave. Sometimes I still have nightmares about that dark figure, and I wake up in a cold sweat. So if you're ever looking at old houses with a lot of character, be careful. Sometimes they come with more than just charm.